They on?
I have to do it.
We're going to call order our meeting with pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Robert May's here. Michael Fritz is here. Greg Zowalton is here. Allison is here somewhere in the building. Derek Rhodes is here. David Eggert's here. Steve Geisel is here. Corey Zana is here. Thelma Stevens is probably en route. Amanda, she's not here yet. Amanda Musso's here. Dean Michael Benethan is here. Warren is here. John, our solicitor, is here. Is there a motion to approve the Borough Special Council meeting minutes from October 16, 2025?
So moved.
Second.
Motion been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Approval and payment of bills. Before you see payable bills from the general fund of $234,633.01, and from the sewer fund $15,153.17.
Motion approved payment of bills as presented.
Second.
Motion has been moved and seconded to pay consolidated bills as presented. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Approval and treasurer's report. Our fund balance as of October 31st is $532,928.46 in the general fund. Liquid fuels has $135,221.49. Fire tax fund has $4,364.99. EMS tax fund has $4,779.24. Sewer fund is $248,248.75. Reserve account is $211,061.40 for a total fund balance of $1,136,604.33. And our principal loan balance as of 11/10/2025 from 135 North Prospect here is $579,117.09. Is there a motion to accept and file for audit the consolidated treasurer's report?
So moved.
Second.
Motion been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Public comment? Anyone here for comment? Just please state your name and your address for the minutes.
Mike Guido. I am not a resident, but I am a contractor within the township. I'm the general manager with JP Mascara and Sons. We've been your trash and recycling provider for as long as I've worked for the company, which is 7 years now. I'm not sure how long that relationship goes back, but I'm sure it goes back a many number of years. Allison could attest to it, but it's been a long time. I value our relationship. Our company values our relationship. We are a family-owned and operated business. We've been that way for 60-plus years. Our lawyer is generally here to do these kind of things, as opposed to myself. But I am here because somebody has to be to advocate on behalf of our company. I left dinner with my kids, said I got to go to the meeting across town, and here I am. I live in Exeter, so I'm also local. I have family that live in town, so they're local as well. None of that matters, but ultimately what I'm going to say is that you should award the contract to the lowest responsive bidder, which is JP Mascara and Sons. Your bid specs, number 13, contract terms specifically stated that the contract term shall be for a period of 5 base years plus 5 one-year options. Casella left this area blank on their bid proposal form. They decided to submit their own specs. You had put it out there, it was clear, the bid sheet was clear, the township expected pricing for the option years, it was not provided. JP Mascara and Sons is the lowest responsive bidder in this scenario. Ultimately what this dials down to, the two difference in bids over the next 5 years equates to 38 cents per collection on average over the next 5 years. So with that being said, I encourage you to award this bid to the lowest responsive bidder, which is JP Mascara and Sons. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Council?
Yeah, my name is Matt Petrosky. I was here a couple months ago to raise concerns about the flooding of the culvert at Levan Street. I understand there may be some discussions to that effect tonight, so I just wanted to be present to just kind of be witness to it and hear what's been going on.
Okay. No,
Same
just
here. I'm
same thing.
Keith Hartman at 19 Levan Street, and I'm just saying that might be a proposal, and just wanted to be here to see it.
Okay. Sultan report. Pamela.
only have one action item. And that's on behalf of Allison, who's working with TPD for the green light go year 11. So we're looking for council to authorize TPD as needed, the manager of SPE, to assist TPD in applying for the green light go year 11. And this was discussed, remember, we wanted to do with the signals of McDonald's, we call it, and then we have the other signals throughout the municipality. It's a 20% match, so we're going to, I think, be interested to see what TPD comes up with, and then you're gonna have another discussion before the pre-scoping's due, January 1st, 2nd, somewhere in there, and then make the decision to go for it. Again, you have to recognize you need a 20% match. That takes a while to get to that point, so it's
Yeah.
probably be 2 years or so until that match is required, but you still need to get that you have those funds.
Years ago, I don't know, maybe 10 to 15 years ago, when we saw a lot of development plans come in, a lot of times, we saw traffic planning design come in, and we were really impressed with, I think, their engineering on plans and counts and things like that. So at one point, we just decided to hire them directly just to do the traffic here for the borough. And then when other people came in, we would waive that they just hired traffic planning directly. You know, we knew that it would be done the right way, and it became a little bit easier for other people. So it was none other than that at the time, I think. So is there a motion to authorize the signing agreement with TPD for approximately $2,580 for the State Route 202 Perkiomen Avenue and State Route 562 Perkiomen Avenue intersections for the Green Light Go grant?
So moved.
Second.
Motion been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passes.
Can I?
Go ahead.
While we're talking traffic lights, the one up at Elm Street that we ordered, or we had it repaired,
Right.
that we had talked, did we repair that light?
Yeah, that's back on
It's
its,
back in function?
that's back in the camera sensing function. If you notice, it does take
Oh,
longer.
I've noticed it doesn't change anymore. I won't go any further, that's fine, but yeah, okay. I was just curious, because I noticed it doesn't shift. Maybe it's the angle of the hill doesn't catch the cars right.
It depends on when you get there, because again, now it has to go through its full cycle, which I think is 60 seconds at that point. So if someone just drove out and the light turned red, you have to wait 60 seconds for it to fully cycle. If you arrive there at that particular time.
That's the same as, and like Bully Turnpike and Perkiomen Avenue. That's, if you're coming up and you get, the last car goes, you're waiting 60 seconds, Perkiomen Avenue gets 60 seconds before it'll see you again.
Okay. Is this your item number 2 on here, or is this?
Yeah, I don't, it's sort of floating there, I don't know what that is.
Because you sent me the complaint about that, different one, the sewer and all that.
Oh, that's,
Yeah,
yeah,
the
that's the
SEO has an
SEO.
update on that.
Yeah, that's the SEO.
Okay.
Oh, I sent that SEO report separately, did you happen to
It was all the one,
attach it?
or no.
Sewage enforcement officer?
Yeah, that's the one that they.
Was that the backup, or and then they had to cross a creek, they couldn't get the,
Across the creek.
yeah.
The
Is
update,
that the same side that when that big storm came through, or they?
Yeah.
yeah, the
they
bridge
didn't have
was
the bridge.
gone. But now the update on that is supposedly the bridge has been installed and DEP, I guess it's awaiting action, which now they cannot get a hold of the property.
No, they can't get a hold of the property owner, it went to DEP level, correct? So.
Oh, to resolve it, they have to, what, rehook back up, or, I'm lost on this.
Their septic was failing, and
Right.
DEP was expecting action, but they were able to claim exemption for a time because their bridge was out.
So now they need action where
The bridge has
Right.
been repaired, and DEP is expecting them to make remediation of their septic field.
Gotcha.
Which now, the SEO has made several attempts to contact.
Contact them, you can't do that.
And we can't, so then it goes to DEP.
DEP for enforcement.
It has to step up, and that was in the SEO report. So.
Solicitor, I guess, and you're up now.
Yeah, my items are under old and new business.
All right. Allison's still back somewhere. Anything new on finance? Yeah, mayor's report.
Okay, I have a report in the file. I'd appreciate if you would read it. There are some safety items that I wanted to make you aware of. But one thing I just wanted to comment on and to give a compliment to our Women's Club. They had a successful election day. They're going to again participate with Shop with the Cop, and that's gonna be held December 16th. And any of us are invited to stop down. And they're probably going to do snacks for cops again. And I just wanted to mention it because I feel that we're really fortunate to have such a nice group. And the other thing is still going forward with the Centennial Corner, because, you know, 2027, we're gonna be celebrating our 100th anniversary, and my next story will feature the Black Bear Inn. So you can look for that.
In Harley-Wood.
Warren's early excited.
Absolutely.
Hey, how could they be stealing checks out of the outdoor box at the post office? Isn't that make it a federal crime and everything?
Yes.
So you guys wouldn't have jurisdiction because the postal inspectors would?
It's multi-jurisdiction.
Gotcha.
Yeah, if you see, our women's club was a victim,
And a person in our church was also last week.
My mother-in-law
and
was.
your mother-in-law. So it is happening here, so just be careful.
Is that coming from their own post office box or because it was all in the box,
That was
out
in
at the drive box?
The drive-by.
In the
and
drive-through.
dropped it in that box.
Wow.
Yeah.
Take some guts.
At least that's what-
It does.
Just make sure that if anybody is a victim of such a thing, to get a report to us.
Yes. Mhm.
I would actually like to compliment Officer Strobel. When I called in on behalf of my mother-in-law,
Mhm.
I no sooner hung up at dispatch, and within 60 seconds, my phone was ringing, it was the officer calling.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, compliments to Central Berks Police Department.
So, I'm gonna go see if Allison's, in pain or whatever. Do we have anything, public safety emergency management?
Nothing to report.
Yeah, everything's there. I went to look over for the meeting and.
Oh, she bailed on us.
Yeah, she's not here.
Oh,
She's probably in pain.
sounds good. Well, at some point, we have to, go back to, opening the bids for the trash.
Yep,
So solicitor, you were giving them to review them?
yes, the bids, there were 3 bids. Dean's Disposal, gave a statement that they were not going to put in a bid, and they did not. There were 3 bids. The low bidder was Casella, and the second lowest bidder was JP Mascara and Sons. Casella at $216,772.32 in year 1, and the total for Casella was $1,150,632.56. For Mascara was $2,842,308.48. The other bidder, AJ Lozensky, their year 1 was $264,792. Total overall was $3,330,525.32, as would have been announced at the time.
Those are 5-year totals, right?
Those are the totals. Now the issue of the option, Casella did not, as was stated, put in a bid for any of the option years. There was nothing in the bid specifications which made that mandatory. I have seen in other bid instructions and bid specifications that bidding on all option years is mandatory. There's no such instruction in this set of bid specifications. I did review both the Mascaro bid and the Casella bid for completeness, so that you could make the determination. The Casella bid, which is, as I said, the lower, lowest of the 3 bids, did have all of the elements that it needed. I did the math on the 5 years of the contract, 2026 to 2030. Couple of places it was a few cents to a few dollars off, but nothing that would influence the price, could have been just a difference with decimal points with calculators. It had, the appropriate, affidavits, the, affidavit of non-collusion, non-discrimination affidavit. It had the, listing of the officers of the corporation. It, listed, the equipment, which would be used. It gave a list of references, it gave 4 references in, Anvil Borough, Lidditz Borough, Manheim Borough, and now Joy Borough. It had the, insurance, the required insurance certificate, and first of all, it had the required financial statements. It was not in a sealed envelope, it was simply with the bids, which is fine. It had a bid bond, the surety was Endurance Assurance Corporation, and the power of attorney was signed by Julie Bowers and also signed by Harry G. Rosenberg, resident agent, checked in his residency is Pennsylvania, it's Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. I looked at, first of all, I checked to see if Endurance Assurance Corporation was licensed in Pennsylvania. It is. And according to U.S. Treasury Circular 570 for sureties, which is part of our bid specifications, it has an underwriting limitation of $300,261,000, which is in excess of the $40 million underwriting limit, underwriting minimum in the bid specifications. There was an appropriate power of attorney, appropriate financials, which were provided with the insurance certificate. The consent of surety was also provided with an appropriate power of attorney. And it had the appropriate insurance certificate, including its workers' comp certificate, and insurance certificate listing the borough as a certificate holder and additional insured. Had all the appropriate commercial general liability coverages, $2 million per occurrence with the commercial general liability. Auto liability combined single limit of $5 million, and workers' compensation within the statutory limits of $1 million, which is actually in excess of the statutory limit. So I believe that the bid is complete. I reviewed the Mascaro bid. The Mascaro bid is also complete. The difference is that it does have the option years all listed. They are all in within the bid, and all 5 option years are bid. Again, both are complete, but the apparent low bidder and what I believe is a responsive bidder is Casella. And I believe that it is responsive in spite of not bidding the option years, because I don't believe that bidding the option years is mandatory, and I did not find any kind of case law or statutory authority requiring the bidding of option years.
All right, thanks for your review. Is there a motion to accept the low bidder of the trash bid, Casella?
I'll make a motion to accept low bid for Casella for the aforementioned amount. It was like $1,150,000.
It is, the total overall is $1,150,632.56, and that is in within the 5 base years of the contract.
5 base years of contract.
But in every year, Casella's is lower than either J.P. Mascaro and Sons or A.J. Blazinski.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion been moved and seconded to award the trash bid to Casella. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you, everyone.
Yep.
Okay, pick up your trash.
And thank you very much for
Yeah,
your service
absolutely.
over all these
Yeah,
years.
we'll see you over here. Thank you.
Roadmaster. You wanna, is there any update on 170 North Binghamton?
From the SEO complaint,
No, I'm sorry, from, these guys were here for the Levan Street,
And walk.
head wall.
I guess.
Jump to that first.
I said we can jump into that. Myself and Mr. Fritz had a field meeting out with Sensenate Metals, about 2 or 3 weeks ago. And they were able to offer us a proposal to update the grade or change the grade out to a different design, or one that's more angled, which I think Amanda, do you have the print of that? So instead of the grate being vertical in the trench down there, it would be angled further out, allowing more surface area for the water to basically push material up further and give more area for the water to escape.
And this grade will be on the inlet side or the downstream side?
The inlet side.
Inlet
The
side.
incoming side on.
Right, and is there any type of vermin gate or anything on the downstream side of that pipe also?
On the downstream side, there is a large, I'll call it a vermin gate, but it's much larger. It's almost like a large. Yeah, it's a lot like a large material grade, very wide space, but it's blown out that it doesn't really function. I don't know if that's necessary there or not.
Part of the concept in talking to Derek, what he goes through to clean out that area after any substantial storm, he takes the backhoe and he has to reach down in there and grab. That's potentially what happened to that gate that's there. It is now vulnerable to children getting in because it's that hard. The conceptual idea here is putting it on an angle in 3 pieces, the centerpiece being removable just in case, that it'll catch more debris and the volume of water potentially may push that debris up toward the top, allowing the water to escape quicker. I've discussed this with both residents. It's not a fix. Given the rains that have come through there, we are neighbors, and I've seen it at its worst. It's not a fix, but I think it'll help. On the east side, there's next to the wing wall, there's an area that should be redressed. Maybe put a couple precast building blocks in there because the water will escape out that side before it ever goes over the head wall. And the objective here is to keep it contained for as long as possible, but that makes it vulnerable to escaping the spillway earlier before it would ever have to go over the head wall.
And then also to touch on that, I did get an answer from the conservation district on that entire area there. They're very sure that the grade change will not require any permitting, but if we make any structure change to it, such as adding on additional wing walls or even altering the sloping of anything there, that would require a chapter 105 permit.
Yeah, but chapter 105 is for streams, and that's not typically a stream, under DEP, correct? It's more of a stormwater conveyance thing.
So their calculations go.
They think it's intermittent stream?
Yeah. And
It's the drainage area.
their calculation goes off of how large the drainage area is. I think it has to be in excess of 1,000 acres, which is half of a square mile is what they calculated as the drainage area of that.
But I think you're allowed to repair the wing wall. We just don't add to it. We'd have to get a permit to do that.
They weren't exact on that.
Yeah.
Mike, can I, so when you say about the walls, about building something up maybe on each side?
It's on your side, where
So
you
you
can
say
see
that-
there's a.
Now, that would be a concern, especially for my property, because as soon as you block that up, the problem already is when that comes over, that water is running parallel to the back of my property, and all that water's coming in and going into the pool, my basement, and everything else.
The
So that's-
natural swale that's back there, we wouldn't touch. The water coming down Paper Jackson wall, we wouldn't touch that.
Right, I understand, but if you build that wall up now, because when that does come over the top, and that, where you're saying potentially building that up, will probably end up pushing that water back towards Trout Street and Sidle Street, and because it's not deep at all, that comes right over into my house.
Again, in all our discussions, thinking that try to contain as much water in the spillway that's coming down from the mountain, and it comes from 3 different directions.
Oh, and it's
Yeah,
worse
maybe
now
more.
than it I'm there 30 years.
I don't know if anybody wants to see it, but that's the rendering he sent for the new cage. I'm gonna pass it around.
Pamela, aren't we required somewhere to have a downstream on that pipe too? Downstream vermin gate or something?
There is, it's just damaged.
He
Yeah.
said it was damaged from the backhoe.
Yeah, so we should get, so we should probably get that one.
As you said, it was from
That's the upstream, the downstream.
the downstream, now if it's damaged, it still needs to
The
be.
downstream is a big compromise, you said it's been beat up pretty good.
It's just, so, the process of that is to just cover the pipe, but now from the flows, it just blew the pipe out, like it just is blown out from the bottom.
Is the downstream grading repairable?
I haven't gotten in there, it's a struggle to get in there, cause there's a bulkhead right in front of that, and
Okay.
it's like a diffuser for the flow.
This is like the grade, because of the-
So what's the cost of this new grate?
I believe it was 9,700. I
Oh.
thought that, oh, was that in that?
Oh,
It
so the
is-
photo.
it is in the email, yes, it is,
It's not showing.
Yeah, it's not on the report.
I say, I thought that went with the email, but I
Okay.
see.
right now.
And what's our, and that's, under our three telephone bids? or-
That falls under the bidding threshold of free telephone.
It is, $9,538.88 installed.
So you make a recommendation to council, we should probably at least try that first and then start looking down the road for the permit to, if we wanna modify the wing walls and such.
You can go along that. I would recommend the replacement of that grate just off of making it easier to maintain with debris removal.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
This is just a delivery, right? They're gonna come and deliver this and then we gotta put it,
No.
install it?
That's
Oh,
installed.
it's installed, so, fine.
Can I ask another question?
Sure.
I have a copy of the drawing, courtesy of Mike, thank you. And I'm just curious, I mean, there's this wall here.
That's not a wall.
I say that's the
That's the
apron.
bottom of the spillway.
Yeah.
He just cut it off there for.
Yeah, the
rendering
apron
purposes.
continues
Okay,
up.
so is this grade actually gonna come down to
On an
the
angle.
existing floor?
Yes.
Of what's there?
I told him, pick 10 foot, pick 12 foot, something that, looking at, random length stock of steel.
Right.
If you can keep it to 10, 11 foot, if they're random lengths, you're not paying for waste. He actually went down after we met that day, he measured it. I don't know what the angle is,
Okay.
but again, there's a couple different concepts here. And, I have to defer to Derek, because he's the one up there cleaning it out.
Right.
This will be stronger, the spacing is 6-inch maximum, which right now is probably 8. That should not affect anything, but my belief is that that angle will allow, under bad scenarios or bad rains, should allow that stuff to be pushed up and allow the water to leave sooner, rather than having a vertical
Right.
gate there, where it starts to build up, and now the water is building up also before it has to leave the channel.
Okay.
Again, I think it's gonna, I'm pretty sure it's gonna help, but it's not a fix. It's not a fix.
Is there a fix?
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
there's
sure
a
you-
house where you're
I'd say-
going on about there's no fix for this.
I'd say aside from complete, redoing the entire thing,
You'd have to
increasing
increase the size of
volume,
that
yeah.
pipe, down,
You have to chase it.
yeah, you have to chase it to the other side of St. Lawrence
Is
Avenue.
there any thought about going above where it all starts from? Because up above is where, if you kind of fix above, you won't have the issue as
Yeah.
below.
I've never been up there. I know Derek's,
It's not our property,
I
is it?
think Warren's more familiar with directly above, and that is the Potter's, I
No.
believe so.
It first goes through, several hundred yards, 500 yards, of Levan estate property. And then
Well, if it's an intermittent stream, anything we do upstream in there is all part of the permit, so, so the motion on the floor is, and seconded is to purchase and have installed a new upstream, gate, or,
That's a
Debris gate.
downstream
Yeah, that's-
one.
oh, it's a downstream.
That's
Right,
downstream.
the picture we saw before was the upstream. Got it.
that could probably be pushed back into place,
Yeah, I don't think it's,
if you could reach it with the backhoe.
I don't think it's compromised to the point you couldn't repair it.
And anchored somehow,
All right.
just so nobody's, curious.
Purchasing it downstream. No, we're
We're
purchasing.
purchasing upstream.
The
To
upstream
prevent any more
angle, so it
material
helps push-
blocking.
Push material up.
Yeah, I'm sure with the vertical wall, as a storm starts, things get pushed against there, and water pressure holds it there, you probably lose a fair amount of the diameter of the pipe.
Can I just ask
Was
one other
blocked.
Sure.
question? I know you said the bars, the gray part of it's gonna be about 6 inches apart. don't you think it would be wiser to spread them out just a little bit to let some of the, what I'll say, even though, you know, we're talking 8 inches, but for some of the finer stuff to get through?
Oh, it will, and what we have to be careful of is, number one, part of the design is to keep curious people out of there.
Understood.
I think what is there now is probably no more than 8 inches.
Not exactly, it's probably close to 8.
Yeah, looking at that, the gauge stuff, so I don't think it's gonna have, any effect on that. Concerned about, if you notice, the downstream is very generic. Because you certainly don't want stuff, because that diameter pipe is smaller, isn't it?
At the end, it should be the same.
Yeah, and
It looks
It
smaller.
does, I looked at it, it looks smaller.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's like, what do you call that, like an optical illusion because of the way the
But-
grate on the inlet side is
Right.
positioned. It really makes it hard to determine.
You don't want a significant catch point at the bottom, because if whatever gets through, the first,
Right, you don't want to
filter,
block it up.
If it
Once
blocks
it gets
up
in
down
that
here,
pipe, you want it to get out.
Right, right,
you
right.
want it to get out.
Right.
Yes.
That's just. for the-
Was there an estimate of once authorized, how long it would take to fab and install, 30 days? Any amount of time frame on that?
No,
I think that might have been 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
Is that,
Is that a weather permitting kind of project for them or?
Yeah, I mean, they'll probably fab that indoors and bring it out.
So
Right, I'm thinking about the installation.
They
Well,
may,
installation.
they may have it done within that time, but if they're 4 to 6 weeks, takes us in the middle of winter time.
and for clarity, there is a gate, swinging gate on, that's really compromised right now. This is in 3 sections. The header on top that's there now stays. That's what they're gonna build down off of. So they're gonna build 3 sections, the wings, the center section will be bolted in place. So if it ever has to be somebody has to get in there, it can be removed, with a bit of ease. I mean, it's number 8 rebar. It does have spreader bars on it to minimize any push-pull when cleaning it out. And so it can be moved with a piece of equipment, or 2 able-bodied people can slide it off to the side once it's unbolted. So it's not like you don't have any access to the pipe or anything from the upside. But again, I know it has to do something as far as the volume of work, but it's not a fix.
Can I just ask one more question? I mean, I understand the concept, but I'm just having a hard visualizing it. Like, is this a proven concept? Has this been done before?
Oh, that I can't tell you.
Yeah, I mean,
This
I
is just,
don't know if
and I-
anybody, maybe the.
Well, I think we're working on the assumption that part of the water's getting blocked from going through there, and that's what's causing the overspill.
we have a smaller filter area now.
Right.
Well, it's-
We're enlarging that filter area
Understood.
and
Yeah.
allowing, and hopefully Mother Nature will push that debris to the top.
Right,
And
The
let
more
flow
water
out
will
earlier.
flow through easier.
Yeah, I understand that, but I
I know.
can't visualize it.
I stood there before Derek got there and I stared at it.
Yeah.
You know, what can we do here?
Yeah.
And turning this into this is more of a filter area.
Right.
So
Understood.
it'll take more to block it up,
Right.
but at the same time,
Yeah,
If-
but the other thing too is even if stuff gets stuck down lower, you have a much larger area
Right.
now for it to
Agreed.
come over.
Right. Agreed.
Before it hits the top of the head wall and comes over into the street.
exactly.
Agreed.
Many years ago, all of those, I'll say, debris or child safety were flushed against. They're now changing.
Like a prison,
all.
like a
Yes.
prison door.
They're all changing them to 3D, and they get larger and
Yeah.
larger depending on how much is coming in.
So
pretty
maybe that's
much
a,
all of them are being retrofitted, the basins through the municipal stormwater program. A lot of them are being rehabbed because of that very reason. It gets clogged so quickly, and then you have overtopping of the basins where it should be contained. So in this case, yeah, you want to contain it in this facility.
Right.
So yeah, it is tried and true. They're changing it.
Okay.
there you have it, I was not aware.
Okay,
Again,
that's-
just
yeah,
trying
I
to
mean-
spitball with Derek and figure out what can we do, to help
Yeah, I mean,
the future.
honestly, I appreciate the effort, the time, and, the, you know, the commitment that's been put toward this, and I'm hopeful. I mean, I'm, you know, cautiously optimistic, I
Take
guess, as
videos,
they
take
say.
videos, take videos.
I've seen the times where we could have surfboarded through your yard,
Yeah.
you know,
right.
really, and I'm not making fun of it.
No, I know,
So it's
I
the,
appreciate that.
it just shows you the power of Mother Nature.
There's a motion and a second on the floor to go ahead and authorize us to install and fabricate and install the new gate for the stormwater. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. So we will go ahead and give them a call.
Yeah, we want to move that forward.
Okay? What else is on your agenda here?
The other thing I did want to touch base on, since it's kind of an ongoing project, Med-Ed moved up their project with tree removal on Jacksonville Avenue with the Butter Lane. From the Butter Lane substation, Jackson Wall, we received several complaints about that project, just based off of people not being directly informed what they were doing in the entirety. We did contact Med-Ed with some of the stuff. The people that were given this tree removal process, they were given a piece of paper that basically they signed acknowledging that rounds larger than 6 inches would be left behind at their property for their undisposed or use. So, if you have any other.
And some of my concern is you can drive up and down, especially Jackson Old Avenue, and I think there's a lot of big pieces left with people who don't own a chainsaw. And I'm worried that eventually it's gonna be called, hey, I have yard waste, come pick it up, which I don't think is the borough's responsibility for Med-Ed, or, property owner wasn't knowledgeable enough when they said, oh yeah, that's fine, leave it there. So so I'm just pointing out the fact I don't want our road crew picking up those big pieces.
Yeah, Med-Ed's debris.
Right. So I'm not sure what the answer is, so.
I think we fielded a couple of phone calls that we made people aware of that, and we said actually if you tell people that it's free firewood, usually it gets taken.
Yeah, there was a phone call and I said just post on free on Facebook. You got people come up, chop it up for you, take it away, everyone on fires. Yeah.
What's up next? Anything?
I mean, that's like the other big thing in the report, other than Levan Street head wall. My report's attached. We will have to start planning on replacing some of the battery backups in the traffic signals along our roads. The Perkiomen Avenue traffic signal had failing batteries, so 4 new ones were installed in that one. So we just have to keep an eye on the ones that start degrading to the point that they need to be replaced before the traffic signal fails in a power outage.
Want to update us about the shed?
At this point, S.J. Thomas says that Shirk builders will be able to, they won't be able to build the structure until the end of January, but they will not be able to pour the floor until at least March, on their claim based off of weather. So if the borough wants to move, or they had suggested just doing everything at the same time, building it and pouring the floor at the same time. They will allow the borough to ask them to build it in January if we chose to, and then have the floor poured at a different point in time, whether it's March or April. So that's where the building structure is.
And so, and maybe not even complicating that, is we're aware that our neighbors next door are changing the lease to the tenants in back what used to be Weichel's Body Shop. So there's a possibility we could think about, instead of building our shed, is either leasing that for a while, or maybe trying to purchase it. But if it would be a purchase, it would have to be subdivided as a separate parcel for the borough to pick up. So there's many, many steps. But the current lease amount is what, $4,000 a month?
$4,000 a month.
And that includes everything but electric,
$4,000 a month includes sewer and water. And then he said another $1,000 for outdoor storage equipment, which I emailed him and said, we don't need outdoor storage. So, $4,000 a month includes water, sewer, so we would still pay gas and electric.
Who owns it?
neighbors.
They do.
Acrolabs.
Acrolabs owns it, it's the one back here.
So Michael doesn't own it.
No, they leased it before Acrolabs came in, and I guess it continued, and, Weichels gave up, My wife had less accidents, it wasn't profitable anymore, so.
It has an office, it has a bathroom, it has water hooked up.
It has a small restroom, has a small office.
It's turnkey, it's big.
So we need to really have a little discussion here. We know we're not gonna get our shed till after winter. Do we wanna go ahead and try for maybe a 1-year lease with that building? And if we like it enough, or try to work all the other details and who's gonna pay for what and stuff like that. If he really wants to sell it, it'd have to be appraised. I mean, all that has to be juggled, so just looking for ideas. Ready to move in, apparently.
But it's a
I like the idea of
market
trying to get
that
a
can't go
one-year
anymore.
lease and
Right.
then we have, you know, it's move-in ready, so.
Hmm,
You know.
I like
Thoughts? Because this complicates other things. Because if we would go down that route, would we then buy the big ass generator we wanna buy, or hold off and buy two smaller ones? Have one here and then one over there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because,
yes.
yes,
it.
because we're certainly not gonna
Right.
put a big one here and have to
And
run
throwing
electric
copper all the way over there. So,
Yeah.
so we sorta gotta figure out, you know, what path should we go down? If not, you know, buy 3 months or buy a year's worth of thinking through some other things. Thoughts, suggestions?
What's their cost on the building, the garage out here?
Well, it was gonna be what, 890,
It was about 100 for a shop.
and 92 for no, nothing in there, no electricity, no water, no nothing or anything like that. That was roof and sides.
Right.
And the floor, right?
And
Yes.
the
Floor.
Yeah.
It's a shell.
It's
It's a
shell.
shell.
So we were probably gonna sink another
Well, if you.
50 to 70 in that to get it water and electric and
I was
everything.
gonna say, if you're trying to match the stuff that would be over there existing, you probably north of 100 again, with boiler water separator, all that stuff going into that, to have plumbing, electric.
Insulation, liner panels, the whole.
Well, there was insulation already
And
in
that,
in
the building was finished as
Yeah.
far as interior.
What's everybody think?
I have not, I was.
He mentioned a 3-year lease. I don't know if we wanna go 3 years. I
I
think,
don't know if we'll do a year though, because
yeah,
the
well,
current lease is
well, I don't
3
know.
years.
That's another thing, council. What do you wanna go for, a 3-year lease?
His current lease now is 3 years at $4,000 a month.
Was there a discussion about a lease to own? Is that a?
Well, I think if we could have a 1-year lease, then negotiate to, you know, get a price if he wants to sell. That's another thing too.
Yeah, I don't wanna get into a lease to own, because then that gets into, is it an agreement of sale, or is it a lease, and do
Yeah.
the purchasing, requirements for purchasing and appraisal kick in?
It's
With a
complicated.
straight lease,
Yeah, it's,
I
we're just
think
leasing space.
it's simply leasing space, right, it's a simple
Does,
transaction.
We're not even sure if it'll go for.
Right, is Acca Labs aware of
I
our,
doubt, I don't know if we'll go for a year, his current one is 3 years, and that's kinda where he was at.
Right. And
Whatever.
And
We can
3
make a
years,
proposal.
and
Right.
3 years you can comfortably do without binding future boards, I mean, just like entering into a trash contract.
Go ahead.
Would he, let's find out if he's amenable to a 1-year lease with 2 1-year options.
that's what I was gonna say. And is he aware that we were considering trying to build something back here?
Yeah, he knows.
Okay, so appeal to the fact that we're trying to work things out and figure out what we wanna do. Maybe he'll wanna work with us,
If
to
we
Dave's
can-
plan.
If we can purchase it and, you know, subdivide it, purchase that, his property taxes go down because now he doesn't have all that other land and another building.
Well, he really wants to expand in the back, and he wanted to make that contingent, and we said, there's no way you can tie those two things together, because that's still going through zoning and everything else.
Yeah, we can't.
So, you know, so we try to get that out of his head. I don't know if it's worth 3 years at $4,000 a month. And if that's the killer, then I don't know, you know, I would like a year to try to figure out everything else.
Have
And,
you
you know,
seen the garage, have you been in?
when my cars were being repaired, I saw it.
I mean, it's big, it's bigger, it's really bigger than what we,
It's
Oh, absolutely.
much
a
bigger
lot
than
bigger
what
than what
any
we
one
were
building.
looking for.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bigger.
Yeah, before you, if you're gonna take official action, before you take official action, because this isn't on the agenda, you would need a motion to amend the agenda.
Understood. We're still talking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
We could have a task.
just, did Mountain Pen ever do anything about going anywhere with what they wanted for their property?
Unknown.
I guess part of my thought is perhaps if it's bigger than what we want, we could also make an agreement with Mountain Pen to store some of their equipment.
They got more money to go build their own garage.
Yes.
And so I've sort of just sailed down that road without them,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah, I think Hunter was trying to scale back something that keeps going back and forth, so I don't know where the bids and the design, but we're sort of kind of moving forward.
So,
We don't know that he's gonna wanna sell this place?
what's this?
Don't know.
We don't know that he plans on selling.
No.
It's really-
No, he said anything is possible, but he would like to, in order to sell it, he would have to expand his out back because he needs that space,
That's what-
because his business is expanding.
But in the real world, to sell something that he's currently leasing would be better off for him to build on his own building.
So what if we leased it and he became some sort of a tenant in a property he owns for space that he might need.
I don't know.
We
The
help
real-
we help each other out.
Yeah, and he seems possible, and he does like the fact that he has us.
Rent the house for
Very
anybody.
nice.
This is the guy we forced to put sidewalks.
So we could,
Remember?
divide
The borough has a lot of nerve, remember that? The borough has a lot of nerve.
I'm not sure about that. The real question is,
Very nice.
is a 3-year lease at $4,000 a month something you're all on board with?
No, that's a lot.
Man.
You're right. So is a 1-year lease with maybe other openings and, plus our intent would be to lease it for at least a year. But we would also want to see if there's a purchase price for it. That's where I think I'm at.
Yeah.
But we can't make any decisions till we.
I know, but we're just still talking.
We don't have consensus.
Certainly one of the options could be, you look at it, one side of it we could use, the other side of it they could use.
That's absolutely.
Or we could lease it out to somebody else.
To Fleetwood.
But we were happy with the building we were gonna
So you don't need this big of a building.
we had something an idea when we were gonna get it, I know it's gonna take time to get it, but we had an idea that was gonna fit,
Where?
it was gonna work.
Right here?
Yeah.
It's kind of a shoehorn design.
I understand that, but it was something that we said was gonna, we
Right.
had come to a
We
plan where
accepted.
This
our-
works, is
yeah.
it true? Did you felt that way, this is gonna work for the borough's needs right now?
It doesn't work for everything.
I would
Doesn't work
say,
for everything.
so the statement of the works for our needs is it works for the property.
Yeah.
Does it work for our needs? No, there's no future with that. You're already behind the 8 ball, it fits 2 trucks with 3, not including a skid steer. So building that building, you're already behind the ball, is covering all your vehicles.
Yeah.
Well, I bet you half of this building would cover all our needs.
I mean, that's 3 bay garage right off the bat, plus a pull through.
Well, I don't wanna lease it, let's just tell me we wanna buy it.
What's that?
I don't wanna lease it, let's just tell me we wanna buy it.
Yeah, well, that's what I was looking for.
Well,
I mean, my thing is like,
I think
let's push harder on like, we need to acquire this property if we need the space.
Oh, God, you're gonna make Bob say a word.
And then-
He wants, how much are we spending leasing it till we get to a point where he says, I'll sell it, and why should he sell it?
I haven't talked to him, management's talked to him because she walked by. So I think the reason is he thinks he has tenants already lined up. He'd much rather have us because we're probably good for the money as compared to any other tenant. So he would rather just lease it to us. But I don't want a 3-year lease, and I don't think he's gonna find anybody who's gonna sign a 3-year lease for that piece of property. But that's me talking. If I was sitting in his office, I'd speak what he said. So 1-year lease, options, mutually agreeable options for the 2 and 3. Plus, we're telling you point blank, give us a price. Because I don't know how you do this, Joan. If it has to be subdivided, he should be paying subdivided. Of course, the price then goes up because of that. Survey, all that. We probably should do a phase 1 because if we own that, not saying they did this, but if they had any leaking drain pipe there, and there's of course something that leaches out into the creek, it then becomes the borough's responsibility unless we sign in the contract, that he's taking responsibility for things, from his previous lessees, which I'm sure, will make his head go off, so. What do you think?
It sure looks like there is a wall going down the whole length of the thing.
I saw that.
It's like 2 bays and then a
Yeah,
whole
well, it was like a
one
paint-
separate
They're two
one.
totally separate halves with a wall between them.
Yeah, it was like a paint room was the one side was all paint, I think, from
And one side-
Maybe the police departments look for a place to park their cars.
So is there a motion to amend the agenda?
Make a motion to amend the agenda.
Oh, go ahead.
What money do we, excuse my ignorance, but what money do we have tied up into our proposed
Our shed?
shed?
Nothing right now.
Nothing right now.
I think time and effort, that's about it.
Yeah, we didn't sign the contract.
All right,
Yeah, we're not at any deposit or anything.
I didn't want
No.
any taxpayers' money being wasted on a building that we're tied into. So we didn't spend any of the money.
Technically, we wasted money.
Besides man-hours worked on our end.
Technically, we wasted money trying to get a building with Mount Penn for 6 months, and that was just water under the bridge. So,
I'll second Dave's motion.
motion moved and seconded to amend the agenda for action on a potential lease of property. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes.
Question, who's the liaison to talk to?
We'll probably let Amanda, because if Allison's still high on drugs, we don't want her.
Remember, we're on.
Excuse me. She may be from her pain pills. From her pain
Got
pills.
the minutes.
Obviously, interested in a 2-year lease with a year option?
No, I don't wanna spend that much money, 20 times 4, $80,000. I wanna have something after $80,000.
And if he says no to a 1 year, but yes to a 2, where am I going there?
Tell him council was,
We'll get back to him.
yeah,
We'll get back to him.
tell him to sharpen his
Yeah.
pencil.
Yeah.
We're offering to take a 1 year with 2 1 years,
Two-
two
two-
1 year extensions.
$3,000 a month, 2-year lease.
I already asked him.
Yeah, we already tried to
I
get
did try
a
to
lower
go to
amount.
3,000 and he said no, because he's currently getting 4 for it.
Okay.
Yeah, I did ask.
Was there any discussion of them just flat out selling?
He hadn't thought about that yet.
Yeah.
Make him think about it.
So I did ask him about how he would feel about selling it, and he said, well, anything's possible, but because in the future, if he would need more space, he doesn't wanna just, strap himself to that building,
Well-
because then eventually he could use that building, but
Well,
if
leasing
he is
some. Leasing.
allowed to extend out his back, then he would very much sell that building.
Without knowing what the lot dimensions are, he probably has space to go out the back
Yeah.
up to the setback.
In order to do that, he has to sell that property, right?
He'd be better off coming in with a plan and going to zoning for as big of a building we want now.
Yeah.
And then that gets blessed, and then the property gets subdivided, because the zoning thing still is in effect, even though you just cut your rear lot way back. That would probably be the prudent way, engineering wise, correct?
I guess so. Every way first.
Yeah, so we're talking, go ahead.
I'll make a motion that we have Amanda approach Acro Labs, about a 1 year lease with 2 1-year mutually agreed upon extensions at the $4,000 a month, and inquire on his willingness to possibly subdivide and sell.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Motion been moved and seconded concerning that item of business. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. And of course, this is your last meeting with us. Fair winds and, clean roads up there in Lakewood.
All of our stuff is up in the other garage still, right?
What's this now?
All of our stuff is up in the other garage still, right?
No,
That's my understanding.
we have signs and stuff up there in
I
that
thought we had other stuff.
barn.
No, everything's-
We have stuff up at the top of the hill.
I was saying, we still have stuff in there, we're moving it out now.
So we're not keeping that.
That's not the intention,
No.
That's the garage,
That's the garage we were using.
correct.
and we're renting that
So
garage.
why is it our intention to not keep that for now until we figure out what we're doing?
Cause it's like,
Maybe I forgot.
how much is it, 500 a month?
500 a month.
And we have shipping containers. We could probably put it in the shipping containers rather than pay 500 a month.
Yeah, we have 3 of them, there's 2 at Adams and 1
They're
down
cheap.
here.
And I will say the garage is a single bay, very space constrained, it's not the best garage. I mean, it worked for the years we had it, but again, it's like it's kind of come to the end of its useful.
Does the zero turn even fit in it?
It does, that's not even in there anymore.
I know. I mean, that's about the biggest thing you can put in
I would say
there.
like in the summertime with the zero turn in, you really couldn't park a truck in it. And so now in the wintertime, if you try to put a truck in there with a plow on it, you have to basically put it against the back wall for it to, the garage door to close. And then you're not doing anything else in that garage.
Crawling underneath to get up into the door.
I'd like to comment also, this being Derek's last report, from whence he was a playground leader, I gotta say, you've impressed the daylights out of me. You came into this thing, you self-taught, you put your chin down, and you went to work, and, it's been fun to watch, and, once again, you've impressed me pretty good.
He was very lucky.
Yes.
So I have a sandwich for all that too.
Since we're on him already, just wanna do the motion to accept his resignation.
Yes.
Might as well do
So we
that.
need a motion to accept his resignation, effective December 1. What's your
November 30th.
November 30th.
We had a great week.
With great regret, yeah, thanks. With great regret, I will make a motion to accept Derek Rhodes' resignation as roadmaster effective November 30th, 2025.
And with greater regret, I'll second it.
Motion moved and second to accept the resignation. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye, all opposed?
Aye.
Two noes.
With much
So
more
noted.
regret.
It's not gonna make any difference. Anything else on Public Works?
That's it.
Well, we talked a little bit about the standby generator. So you had another Generac guy come out.
That's somewhere in here.
Yeah, that's.
And there was a big discussion between the air-cooled ones and the water-cooled ones. The one from CoStarz is the huge, bigger size unit, water-cooled. He thinks technically we could do a smaller unit, like the air-cooled one would fit for this building. When you talk to him about not having the heating strips on the upstairs HVAC system, and if you would ever take the heating systems off the third unit down here. So he says you get by with the 200 amp, which is basically the smaller one. So it's $10,000 cheaper to do that. But the whole thing's moot now, or maybe for a couple months.
Well, I wanna just reiterate this, so the 36, I believe, is this?
Yeah, that was the bid, the
The
36,000.
36 with transfer switch is 29,000, that does not include installation. That is just the generator drop shipped for us to do something with it. The other proposal, which I don't know.
No, I didn't put that on there, so we were sure.
Okay. There was another proposal from Healy Electric that's for the air-cooled generator. That was 8,000 for the generator transfer switch and 10,000 for installation, two separate quotes. Which I guess would have a question for Joan, whether or not that falls under procurement if you're buying a item and then paying the same company for installation.
Well, it's the labor and, the materials, the labor and the product, and that would, be one purchase.
So if you bought the generator from them, and then there's no time period on if they came back the next year and installed it?
We're not buying a package deal.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not that, and there is a, say, how much separation between when it is purchased and when it's installed? How much?
Well, we're dancing on the pins here because
Yeah,
once you have it sitting here, you want to have it installed.
Yeah, I mean,
So
to me,
either,
it's one transaction.
yeah, it leans more heavily towards one transaction than trying not to be.
Are we buying or somebody else install it?
You could do that. But now, so this is the deal. So like Generac is a brand that you can only buy from certain providers.
Right.
So those providers have their proprietor to that company. So a lot of the times the warranties are only carried out by that specific installer. So you end up in this dance of you can buy the Generac generator from them, but if you want the Generac to carry out the warranty, they would have to install it.
How much do we shop it around?
Well, we sort of got hung here between buying the big one from CoStarz, him telling us the small one probably would work, plus it was cheaper, and then the other building came up all in the same 2 weeks. So,
Well, again,
it's swirling.
Now, I will tell you, so another instance on this, that both of them together are less than 23,000, so we do not have to go for formal bids. We would just require 3 telephonic quotes.
So we threw telephone quotes even with the installation.
Correct.
Okay,
So
then, all right,
we would be able to shop it around. The price would probably still end up being the same because they're the closest installer of that Generac generator.
Together,
Have we-
it's
Yeah,
like
I mean,
just
you
under
don't,
20,000.
you don't have to take the lowest quote.
Right.
So, you can look at it as one transaction or two.
So in your next 2 weeks, can you go try to get 2 more quotes from Generac?
I can, you just end up in that dance of, well, they're not our service area.
Well, here's a question.
Well, pick a different
Why
vendor.
are we so set on Generac?
yeah, pick a different vendor.
That was just
Kohler,
No.
Omen,
Cummins.
Well,
Cummins.
Generac offered like a 7-year warranty right now, and that was one of the things that looked enticing. You know.
So there is nothing that says, Generac, we had the old building, so it was just a suggestion that was brought to my attention.
So what size are we looking at now for this building?
Is that, what was that, the 17?
26.
That's a 28.
28.
That one, yeah,
The air-cooled one, The smaller one?
Yeah,
The
28.
smaller one was 28.
28.
Okay.
Okay.
And he thought that that would be fine for this building, being under the understanding that you can't just run all your heating at full blast all the time.
And then he even said they have a program now that you can take certain circuits and not let it come on load, so it's load sharing. So you can program it so it never would come on with all three of them, or
Right.
something like that, so.
And that's just the building only, that's no.
Right, that was, well, when he was here, we talked about that in the shed, but we explained we probably had less than 50, 60 amps out at the shed with lights and door openers and stuff like that. And very few times would this whole thing be lit up and the shed be lit up, you know. So, you wanna try to get 2 more bids before you leave?
I can,
And leave the notes with the man for the next meeting? Anything else, Public Works? You done?
I think that's it.
Okay. Mike, anything from the library?
Nothing to report.
Warren, anything from joint comp plans?
This month's, meeting was canceled, we hopefully will have the final draft in December, the first Thursday of December. So if anybody has any comments, let me know.
All right. Anything on municipal lands too?
No, you know, I did, GPS, I think I showed you, basically all the trails up there, so. I do have that, so we could create a map sometime if we desire.
All right. Dave, Rick?
I'm still working on fleshing out a kind of plan, concept plan to get.
Master plan?
Yeah, the master plan.
Warren, anything from planning commission?
Not that I know of.
Zoning, nothing new on zoning either. General comments, all public meetings be held at St. Lawrence Borough Municipal Building at 135 North Prospect Street. Changes to office hours, borough offices closed on November 27th, 28th for Thanksgiving. Why don't we hold the executive session and move to the old business, so that we could let everybody else leave probably after executive session? Oh.
Yes, I respectfully request a council only.
Yeah, that's what that was one of the reasons I was thinking we could just go at the end. We can take care of the minutes all by ourselves at the end. As you sit in your car.
Close all the doors and I'll start tomorrow's minutes.
So review and potentially award new trash, we did that. 2, UGI's added the gas line. Okay, so we're hung up, we have to get Landis to tell us when they can come and switch out the very first big unit, because they have to put in the service call for the meter, and that's how we get the meter hooked up.
And I need the exact, before we do all that, I need the exact generator and type so they know what lines to put in.
Give them this big ass one.
Tell them the size of your 35 kW.
Right, for the 35 kW.
Yep.
We're good to go.
Yep.
I did, and so I'm waiting.
Sorry for that term, big ass, that's some sort of colloquial term.
Okay, that's all good.
So then, so we awarded that potential motion. Let's table about a installation of a genset at this point in time. New business, we have advertised ordinance number 461, levying real estate tax for the year 2026. So we should talk about our financing.
Okay.
Budget committee, what'd you guys come up with, if anything?
Well, you have a copy of the proposed budgets in front of you. Proposed budget for 2026. Cash carried over $461,674.36. Revenue of $1,094,145. Which would be total cash available $1,555,819.36. Budgeted expenditures of $1,460,042.36, which would leave an ending cash balance of $95,770 even. And you can look through all the different, it's pretty much the same. Allison is, and this does include a 3% wage increase, which is cost of living. Sewer fund, that's pretty self-explanatory.
Probably sometime in the middle of next year, we're gonna have to adjust sewer rates and see where we're at on all that.
That was discussed.
But that's not general taxes, that's
Right.
sewer rates, so
We can
you
do
know,
that
sort of it
anytime.
pushed.
But the budget, beginning cash balance for 2026, $293,303.48. Revenues of $423,000, expenses of $518,808.77. Net outflow of $95,808.77, and cash balance of $197,494.72.
So what would be the mill increase for this?
Millage increase, we're recommending a half mil, 0.5 increase, then we would go from 7 mils to 7.5 mils.
You know what that generates, Dave?
Off the top of my head,
Roughly.
a mill.
Isn't that 1% of $100? Yeah.
Yeah, but as far as the tax base versus the millage, if I remember previous discussions for previous years, it's somewhere around 197,000, if I remember correctly.
Per mill.
Per mill. So we'd be at 7.5 mils.
What the half mil increase would be.
Yeah, it's half, yeah. The fire tax, EMS tax would stay the same. That's what the recommendation from Allison after finishing crunching all the numbers. We did hold off on a tax increase last year. I think the previous increase was 2 years ago, so we.
Dave, I think I wanted to help you out. The EMS tax is a what millage?
0.5.
So then that would be 36,000, would be generated on a 0.5, right? Cause that's just a flat.
What?
Yeah, so, good catch there.
Well, we're two things that happened. One, we're chewing down our leftover cash carry
Right.
significantly. And a couple of things, we're doing was mostly taking out of our capital reserve, building, heating system, stuff like that, so, you can have all this money and die, or you can have all this money sitting in the building, so.
Given some of the, what we're gonna try and pursue with the property back here, if we take any of that into consideration.
No, none of that has anything to do with this.
Well, what I'm getting at here is would the budget be at all friendly towards making, entering into any agreements, should they present themselves?
I don't know, that would probably be in next year's budget. We probably have enough cash reserve right now to do whatever we want for a year.
Yeah.
Leasing something for a year, not spending the money on the shed at that same time. So it's sort of a washout way. So, maybe that's not answering the question very well.
It is, and I was, my mind was going through all that, but.
We're sort of buying time and not spending money on certain things, trying to make good decisions, 30-year decisions down the road.
Yeah.
So is there a motion to have our tax levied at a 7.5 mils, and our fire tax is what, 0.05 mils?
No. The fire tax is at point.
Fire's 7.
7.
0.7.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fire's at 0.7, EMS
EMS
is at 0.5.
is at 0.5.
Yeah. So I'll make a motion to advertise ordinance 461, the real estate tax for 2026 at a general 7.5 mils, fire tax at 0.7, and EMS at 0.5.
Second.
Motion been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, motion passes. And is there a preliminary budget for 2026? Above here, where our budget would be from,
So the general fund budget would be $1,555,819.36. A sewer fund, that page. $518,800, or no, I'm sorry. $293,303.48, or that with the expected revenues of $423,000, expenses $518,808.77. Liquid fuels, with beginning cash balance of $128,705.23, revenues of $49,023.09, expenditures of $72,000, and an ending cash balance of $105,728.32. And fire tax, revenue $37,003. I'm sorry, that's EMS tax, $37,399.58. Expenditures $37,100, $100 even. Ending balance of $3,078.82. Fire tax, beginning at $43,64.99, revenue of $53,076.93, expenditures $53,500, and an ending balance of $3,941.93.
Is there a motion to publicize our 2026 preliminary budget?
Make that motion?
Second.
Motion moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passed.
And will our office be advertising, or will Allison be advertising?
Well,
Amanda will advertise.
All right.
We'll advertise.
So, item 3 below was savvy citizen. Amanda, this is a, it's sort of like a code red, but not with all the urgency to it.
Yeah, it's a code red, but better, I guess.
It's code red with better capabilities. We have both emergency alerting capability and general information.
And this is our push to try to get out of the paper newsletter.
Yes.
Which was because, the cost of postage was gonna go up dramatically.
And we were spending, what, $3,500 a year just in that, plus another almost $2,000 in code red, whereas Savvy Citizen is, what, the $2,000
$139.
But I'm sure we're gonna be mailing X amount of paper out to some people who don't want it electronically, but, you know,
But-
so be it.
Yeah.
Again, if they can call, I'll mail it to them, or they can stop
They
by.
can stop by and pick it up.
They can stop by.
Yeah, why don't we
Online,
continue
so-
to mail it out still?
Cause I'm trying to think as I get older that, you know, certain electronic things don't jive with me, so I'm just
Well,
trying to
They
be,
can pick it up.
yeah, that's true too.
Or you can
Yeah.
print it off.
Call me,
on
I'll
your own
deliver it.
email.
How's that?
Yeah.
This is,
No.
this push right, someone can get it.
Yeah.
Plan
I'm
on
for the light on.
mailing somebody what's
I'll just drop something.
I'll walk it down.
But Amanda, how many calls do you get from citizens with the questions that they're asking could have easily been answered if they actually read their newsletter?
Oh, almost all of them.
That's
Thank you.
historic, man.
That was the same thing when Susan was the secretary. So we're spending all that time and effort to print, fold stuff, mail, paper newsletters that are, when they get to the house, they're either going in the trash, which I hope not.
Yeah.
I hope they're going into recycling, but either way, they're not being read. So to me, this makes all the sense in the world, and I'll make a motion to sign the agreement with Savvy Citizen for $2,139 a year.
Second, third.
Motion been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Resolution 928, 2002-05. This is so the borough will no longer accept cash payments over $20, including tax payments. Anything over 20 must be paid by check, money order, or credit card.
I'll make the motion to adopt resolution 928-2025, beginning 1 January 2026, no longer accept cash payments over $20, including tax payments. Anything over 20 must be paid by check, money order, or credit card.
Is it seconded?
Yep, yep.
Motion been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Numeral 5, advertise reorganization meeting for January 5th, 2026. So of course, this is the even year, so we have to reorganize. And we would also advertise our monthly meetings in that same publication. And that would be, is the second Thursday still good for everyone at 7:30? If not, forever hold your peace.
One point of order though, we are also planning on holding the regular January meeting at 7:30 after reorganization meeting
Right.
on January 5th. That will be the only exception to the second Thursday.
Right, and that's how it has to be advertised. And our regular monthly meeting will be held immediately after reorganization meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion been moved and seconded about advertising the reorganization meeting and our regular monthly council meetings. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? Motion passes. We did take care of number 6 as part of his thing. So, is there a motion to go into executive session? Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I have some news, but I'm not leaving.
Okay.
I'm hiring. We are the beach share. Your playground person.
No.
I told you.
And our finder's fee was what?
I told you, I was your first dibs.
So we should.
Is she working evening shifts next summer, so she's no longer a playground leader?
Yes,
How many
because they
meetings
want
we
to
send her
advertise.
to?
So there is one other item that's on the agenda, and that is to
Yeah,
advertise.
she was very impressive, so I'm
the
glad that I
position.
listened, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're very excited, she's a local person.
One hand feeds the other, yeah.
Local person, and that's great, so.
So let's,
Just wanted to let everybody know, thank you for that.
yeah.
And, yeah, she may be coming to meetings.
Can we have a motion to amend the agenda to discuss, advertising for a new public utility?
It's on your own.
Oh, when we come back? Or we wanna do it now?
At first.
At a hourly rate that'll be determined after our executive session?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, and in the same, line of reasoning, how quickly do you want all this to happen? Or do we need to maybe reach out to adjoining municipalities and ask for a short-term proposal if they need to salt or plow streets? Or do you think we can turn this around in less than 30 days? Or excuse me, less than 20 days?
Let's have the executive session first.
All right,
Wait, I need a motion to advertise, or are we doing advertising after executive session?
we need a motion to advertise the position at a rate to be discussed in executive meeting, so it'll be included in our, when we come out of executive, we'll state what that amount will be. But the question I'm asking council is, do you wanna have it open for 2 weeks? Try to get someone in for interviews and try to have a special meeting if we need to before November 30th? How do you wanna handle all this?
How realistic is that?
What's that?
So how realistic is that?
I don't know.
Let's go into executive session.
Yeah.
Okay,
Motion for executive session?
yes.
Who we go into executive session?
Second.
Thank you.
Motion to go with the executive. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Make a motion to advertise, have Amanda advertise for a road person with competitive, salary, competitive benefits, pension and healthcare. And, we need responses back by, it's 2 weeks from today. It's 27th.
Thanksgiving.
Applications are open till the 27th.
Thanksgiving.
That's Thanksgiving.
30th then.
They have to stop and pick up an application.
No, email your intent and go to your email.
So,
So second.
Most moved, seconded to advertise for a road person. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Is there a motion to adjourn?
No, we have to announce a public meeting next week.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
We need to advertise for a special meeting.
We want a
I'll
special
make a
meeting.
motion to advertise special meeting
Thursday, 7:30.
next Thursday at 7:30.
You need to publicize it and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, need to
And it's gonna be,
advertise that.
our agenda items are, we're gonna open the meeting and have a, executive session on personnel.
Bob, can I ask a question?
Sure.
The road person?
Road crew,
You're
road
not
crew
gonna call
person,
road-
road.
Yes.
No,
You're
not
not
a
calling
road.
road
No.
foreman, no master, person or
Director of
road?
Utilities.
Yeah. So, all right, I made a motion about the special, or the,
Special meeting.
Second.
To advertise it, second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes. Anything else, Reverend?
No.
It's too late for me. It's too late for me. You guys are gonna help me out. Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second. Motion moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes.
And
What time and who made the motion to get out of executive session?
I
Dave
made the
did and
motion.
Warren seconded.
5 minutes ago.
Fine.
Feels like an hour. It's only 5
Sorry.
10:10.
Amanda, you're being tasked to go figure out, alternate, insurance, like with our existing carrier for family, how much does that cost for everything?